Hey guys, this is Victor, the Wise Traditions Nutritionist from Vitagenics. And today I want to speak to you about how nature and natural living, natural food is just the absolute best way to be healthy. I mean, nothing trumps nature, nothing is better than it. And with that in mind, so right, why do we take supplements or medication? Why do we exercise? So I want to answer that question a little bit and just a quick review just to give you some motivation to always pursue the most natural form of living and the most natural form of food, etc. So we're always talking about supplements, and I talk about supplements, and I'll continue to talk about them after this. I'm really not crazy about supplements that are not natural. So there are more natural supplements, meaning we take something like a desiccated liver, just liver that's dried and put into a capsule. That's a little bit different. It's better because it's still natural, but it's still a supplement, right? It is meant to make up the difference between what you're getting and what you're missing, right? It's trying to compensate for the nutrients that you're not getting. And then, of course, we do physical exercise to compensate for our lack of physical movement. Whereas if we were just living a more natural lifestyle, we would get movement. Our living would be enough exercise for us. But anyway, moving on, the same thing, mental exercises, meditation or whatever, in a more natural lifestyle, we would normally naturally have more time to just empty the mind, to relax, to do nothing. That's really important, and it's natural. And then, of course, we hear a lot of things about many different types of energy therapy, whether it's electric medicine or electromagnetic therapy, or heat therapy or cold therapy, or infrared sauna, etc. And again, these things are really trying to imitate what's going on in nature, right? If you're getting sunshine, if you're well grounded, you're waking up at sunrise and getting that good morning sunlight, etc. So again, just try to get back to nature if you can. And then, of course, we have a lot of different medications and drugs, which I am not a fan of, although it does have its place, especially in a trauma situation or emergency situation. And then finally, we hear a lot about biohacking, right? The ways to trick the body. And there's a lot of different things that we do for that. But again, here too, they are not better than nature. They're just ways to compensate when we cannot get, the food, the natural food we need, or we cannot live a more natural way. And so why is that, right? Why can't we get natural food? Why can't we live a natural way? Well, we've been eroding our soil and depleting our soil for so long that, we simply cannot produce, in most places, I mean, factory farming cannot produce food that is as nutritious as it was in the past. Of course, a lot of your small farmers can. So again, seek out your small farmers. Try to find the places that are growing food the right way. The meat, pastured meats, and the plants and vegetables, fruits, etc., that are grown the right way are much more nutritious and much more nutrient dense. Okay, your food in the supermarket is nutrient deficient food. It just doesn't have what you need, and so right, that leads us back to the supplements and such. So, of course, a lot of us don't have access to the good food, or we have very limited access to truly nutrient dense natural food. And then, of course, that again leads us back to supplements and therapies and such. So, on top of that, we have food contamination, the stuff you're buying from your supermarkets, etc. And we have to deal with pollution, air pollution, water pollution, light pollution, sound pollution, the EMF, the electromagnetic pollution. Really, there are all of these things that are unnatural, especially if you're living in a city or something. And of course, we could say we have a lot of mental and even spiritual pollution. So these are the things that are forcing us or pushing a lot of us to seek out all of these other therapies and supplements, etc. But again, nothing trumps nature. So if you can get to a more natural lifestyle, you can do away with these supplements and these other kind of artificial exercises and therapies we do. We're doing them to compensate for what we can't get from nature. But the best thing is just try to get back there. So some other comments I want to make, like about testing, right? Our testing gets a lot more sophisticated. You can go get a blood test and find out what nutrients you're missing, or all different kinds of things that we can learn about ourselves. But we still never know everything. We're still really in our infancy of understanding. And this is a great quote here I have from Dr. Shanahan. I love her book, Deep Nutrition. And, she's saying, listen, even with all the testing we have, we can't really be sure. So the only way to be sure is to get the most nutrient dense food that you can find. That is really the best way to live your life. Try to get back to nature as much as possible. And then, of course, another really popular thing now is stuff with the DNA as we learn more about DNA. But here, too, we're still in our infancy of knowledge and understanding. And in recent years, there's been a big trend about, I have this MTHFR gene, so, I have issues. Well, now more recently, we've got people coming out and saying, wait a minute, you know what? That's really just a riboflavin deficiency, because we're not getting the level of vitamins. This is related to vitamin B. We're not getting the same levels that we were before. But again, if you can ramp up the vitamins, if you can get a more natural diet, make sure you're getting all the nutrition you need, that gene is irrelevant. It doesn't cause you any issues at all. There's no problem there. And even with many other genes and DNA issues that we're hearing about, you really can never be sure. So this is another really interesting quote here by Ben Greenfield, talking about how when people, this is about the placebo effect actually, how your mind really has an impact on things. When people are told that they have certain genetics or a certain gene, their body will function accordingly. It's more likely to. Now, this is a placebo effect. Now, even with drugs, pharmaceutical companies know that 60% of the effectiveness of their drugs come from the placebo effect. It's what you believe, okay? So this is not new news, okay? It's out there. We know it. You can see it in tests everywhere. What you believe is so powerful. So don't get caught up on any kind of DNA or genetic issues. On top of that, really, epigenetics, we control our DNA. We really decide what genes to turn on and off, and that's controlled by your environment, your food, etc. So again, nothing trumps nature. Try to get natural, healthy food. Try to live as natural as you can. Okay? That's just number one. It's the number one solution. And again, I'm always going to be presenting a lot of other things. You'll hear me talk about supplements and colloidal silver and ozone therapy and things like that. But natural food and natural living are always number one. It's just the way it is, right? So don't be penny wise and dollar foolish. Go out, look for the good natural food. Don't be afraid to spend a little more. Support your local farmer. It will save you. It will save you on medical bills. I haven't had to see a doctor or go to a hospital in like 15 years. It's just, it saves money if you spend money to get the better food. And you'll be healthier, you'll be stronger, you'll live longer, etc. Now, if you want more information on this, I'd recommend the Western A. Price Foundation. They really are just great. I love the work of Dr. Weston A. Price. I love the work of the foundation. And of course, there are a lot of other people and a lot of other organizations out there that can help you understand all of these things and help you find good food, help you find local farms, etc. So I hope this video helps to motivate you a bit. And, I hope you subscribe. I hope you keep watching. And I wanted to put this out to let you know that even when I am speaking about all of these other solutions, keep the context that still really nothing trumps nature. If you can go live in the jungle and eat the local seasonal fruits, wow, there is simply nothing better than that. That is the best there is, okay? So, good luck to you, and again, thank you for watching. Take care.